Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time, my name is Lauren. I'm 22 and I'm a first-time mom. I just had my son 18 days ago, so he's like 2.5-ish weeks old. And if you can hear the noise next to me, it is because he is sitting right here in his little swing, just looking at his little bears. So when we were in the hospital, we were kind of planning on doing like a labor and delivery video, but if you've ever been in labor, I don't know how people do them. I was telling my husband that I don't know how people do labor and delivery videos, or videos like the day of or after you give birth. If you do that, kudos. I looked awful. I was so tired and I just didn't want to do anything. So it is now like almost 3 weeks since I have given birth, and I'm finally starting to feel like normal-ish again. So I thought it was a good time to share my birth story. So I will just start at the beginning. So I got induced when I was 39 weeks and 5 days. I didn't get induced for any medical reason. I was just really uncomfortable and I just wanted to be done being pregnant. So we almost made it to 40 weeks. When I got induced, I didn't have any signs of labor. I was kind of having contractions randomly, but not anything consistent. So yeah, so I went in on a Monday morning at 6 a.m. to get induced, and so we got there. I met my nurse. I got an IV put in, and then they started me on Pitocin pretty soon after that. And then around, like, I don't know, I want to say like 8:30, 9, my doctor decided to break my water. I think at that point I was 3 centimeters, or almost 3 centimeters, I think. But they decided to break my water, and then like every hour or so they kept bumping up my Pitocin to increase my contractions. For the first few hours I didn't even really feel the contractions, and I felt like totally fine. Up until probably around like noon, my contractions started getting like really bad and really close together. They were super painful. At this point I think I was still at a 3. They didn't check me very much because they said something about when you break your water, they don't want to check you as much. So I didn't get checked again until, so if you've watched any of my videos, I was hoping to have a natural birth with no medication, not for any particular reason, just because I wanted to try, and that did not end up working for me. Like I said, it was about 4:30 when I decided to get the epidural. I was in so much pain, and the contractions were making me cry every time I would get them. I just kept thinking, like, I don't know how I can keep doing this. I didn't know how much longer I would have to keep doing it and when he would come. So it was about 4:30. My mom and my husband convinced me to get the epidural, and it was the best thing I ever did. So I got the epidural, like I said, at like 4:30, and then they checked me probably like an hour or so later, and I was dilated to a 6. And I felt really good at this point. Like I said, I got the epidural. I felt amazing. Yeah, it was a complete game changer. So I'm very glad that I ended up doing that, for later reasons that I will talk about. So like I said, I was dilated to a 6 at this point. This was probably around like 6 p.m. And then my doctor came back like an hour or so after that and checked me again, and I was at a 9. And then they came and checked me a little bit later, and I was at a 10. And at this point, I wasn't feeling any of the contractions, obviously. So they were like, he's still kind of far up. We're gonna let you sit at a 10 for like 30-ish minutes, and then see if you can push just to help him get down naturally a little bit more. So I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. I couldn't feel anything, so I was like, whatever. So about 30-45 minutes of me just kind of chilling out, trying to let him get more low naturally. So we did that, and then at around 8:15 was when I started pushing, and this was the worst part. So I couldn't feel any of the contractions, so I couldn't really feel anything. But at this point, I had been in labor for like, what, 14 hours, I guess. And I was so tired, I was so hungry, but we decided to start pushing. So at 8:15, I started pushing, and it took 2 hours. So he was born at 10:17, so it took just about 2 hours for me to push him out. While I was pushing, every time I would push him down, he would like go back up, and then I would push more and he'd go down, and then he would like go back up. He did that for a long time. And then at this point, it was just my nurse that was helping me push. There wasn't any doctors or anything. And then once I got to the point where they could, like, you know, his head was coming out and everything, the doctor ended up coming in, and I pushed for a while with her in there. Still the same thing. He wasn't really coming down. He was kind of going back up and then kind of coming down, but he wouldn't like stay down, if that makes any sense. So I kept on pushing, and then when I got him out enough, I guess, the doctor like just pulled him out, like reached in, pulled him out, I guess. And yeah, I'm really glad I couldn't feel that, because I'm sure that would not have felt very good, her just going in and pulling him out. And yeah, I did end up tearing. I got a 2nd-degree tear. Like I said, luckily my epidural was really, really good. I couldn't feel a single thing, couldn't feel a stitch, couldn't feel him come out, couldn't feel anything. So, like I said, he was born at 10:17 p.m. on August 9th, after pushing for 2 hours. It was the best experience. So after they pulled him out, they took him over and like weighed him and everything. As soon as he came out, he like pooped all over me. So they took him, cleaned him up, like weighed him, gave him a diaper, everything, and then they brought him over to me, and he probably laid on me. We did skin to skin. We probably did that for like a half hour or so, and then he weighed 9 pounds and 7 ounces, so that's why it was so hard to get him out. But since he was, I guess when you have big babies, they want to check their blood sugar, so they took him away after about 30 minutes to check his blood sugar, and then they continued to check his blood sugar throughout like the first like day, and then after like a day of it being, I think it was like 3 or 4 times of them checking it, and it was like good, then they stopped checking it. So that was nice, because he did not really like it. They pricked like the back of their like ankle, and he did not like that at all. So yeah, I just keep looking over at him because he's just so cute. But yeah, he was 9 pounds 7 ounces, so that's why it was kind of hard for me to push him out. But luckily, like I said, I couldn't feel anything, which was absolutely amazing. I don't know what I would have done. Like I said, I got the epidural at like 4:30, and he wasn't born until 10:30, so that would have been 6 more hours of labor without an epidural, and I don't think I could have like survived that. So if you do it naturally, I don't know how you do it, but you know, congratulations. So yeah, after he was born, he was totally fine. So he was born on Monday night, and then we stayed the night Monday. We didn't end up getting to our postpartum room till about midnight. My mom brought us Taco Bell. That was the only thing that was open. And so we stayed Monday night, and then Tuesday came around. They gave him his first bath. He did his hearing test. He passed all the tests that they did at the hospital, and that was on Tuesday. and then we stayed Tuesday night, and then we ended up leaving Wednesday afternoon at like 4 o'clock. I was breastfeeding up until I was breastfeeding up until Monday. Today's Thursday. So I breastfed for exactly 2 weeks, and at his first doctor's appointment, which was when he was 3 days old, he weighed 8 pounds and like 10 ounces or something, or 12 ounces. So he had dropped, which is normal for them to drop weight, but he dropped like a lot of weight. So the doctor was like, well, come back on Tuesday and we'll check his weight again. So he went back on Tuesday, and he only gained like, I think it was like 1.5 ounces maybe. So still wasn't gaining a lot of weight. And then we went back, today's Thursday, we went back on Tuesday, and he was 9 pounds, like 1.5 ounces, I think. So he was gaining a little bit of weight at a time, but after I would breastfeed him, it was really painful for me. And I know it's supposed to be painful, but it was like really painful even after a couple of weeks. And I don't think he was latching properly, or I wasn't doing something right. I don't know which of the two it was. It could have been both or whatever. But I would feed him, and then not long after, he would act like he was really hungry. He would cry. And he's a very, very chill baby. Like, he really only cries when he's hungry. Even now that we've switched him to formula, he really only cries when he's hungry. So he's really a good baby, but he was starting to cry more as he was getting older. I don't know, I could have not been producing enough, I don't know. But then when I would pump, some days I would get a lot of milk from pumping, then other days I would barely get anything. So it was really hard to tell. I didn't think he was getting enough. So on Monday I made the very hard decision to switch to formula, and I'm so glad that I did. He's so much more content. It's so much easier, and he is totally fine. He took a bottle before, because even when I was breastfeeding him, I would pump and we could give him bottles that way, and he took bottles just fine. So he's been taking, we only have given him one type of bottle, and he took it the first time right away. He's continued to take it right away, and he's totally fine. So yeah, he's amazing. So now he weighs, as of the other day, he weighed like 9 pounds 1 ounce. I'm sure he probably weighs a little bit more now. But if you've watched any of my videos, I've announced his name before, but if this is the first video you're watching, his name is Knox Easton, and he was born on August 9th, and he was 9 pounds 7 ounces, and he was 21.5 inches long. Me and my husband are both pretty tall, and we have pretty tall families, so not surprised that he was so like tall. But yeah, so that was kind of my birth story. As far as like postpartum has gone, like I said, I did get a 2nd-degree tear, so I am not bleeding anymore, which is nice. But I bled for probably about like a week and a half, maybe like a week. I feel really good. I'm starting to like feel like myself again, especially now that I stopped breastfeeding. I feel like I'm back to myself. I didn't really love being pregnant near the end of my pregnancy, so I'm just so happy that he's here. I'm not pregnant anymore, and he's healthy, he's happy. Yeah, so I will show you guys him again because he's just the cutest. I know I'm biased being his mom, but he's just the cutest little guy. He loves his swing, as you can tell. He's just the best. Oh, he's tired. He just ate too, so he's probably getting to be a little sleepy. But yeah, so that is my, labor and delivery story. I had the most amazing nurses and doctors. Everyone that helped take care of us along the way was amazing and so nice, and we had no bad experiences. which I'm really thankful for, because I've heard some like horror stories about labor and delivery nurses or just doctors and stuff in general. So yeah, we got really lucky, and we got really lucky that our baby is perfectly happy and healthy. So can't ask for much more than that. But I think that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any other videos you want to see from me about like labor and delivery, any questions about like postpartum, I might film like a postpartum video. But yeah, so he's about 2.5 weeks old and he is doing perfectly fine. So that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.